Happy holiday. Uh, I think today we'll talk about predictions. Predictions for the next year. And what we could do next year is see how many predictions come true. This is something that was done on a radio show that I would listen to around New Year. There would be, let's see, gotta get my battery power pack. We'll see how many people join us today. Now, I've been going through a lot of crushed hopes lately. A lot of things that I thought were going to go through. Let me see if this is going to work. I'm pretty sure. See why? What's I got a couple of battery packs here, and we'll see how well this goes. It looks like the battery power, I think that's working. I hope this doesn't happen throughout the show. We've got some slow battery, no, this battery has some power. So I'm live, and it's not quite the new year. I'm really needing some prayers, I guess, because of the way things are starting out. I know that sometimes it's not always the way things are going to be forever. But like I said, some things that I planned on don't look like they're going to happen. My alternative, I guess, is to absorb or to dive into work, dive into what will sell and what won't sell. Because lately I've been promoting a neck knife and a pin, a tack pin, and I haven't sold any of them. And donations, I have a weird story about the donations that I was planning on keeping this. What's up? Oh wow, yeah. Did you have a very Merry Christmas? It's like I kind of did. So I got a very jerky, well, it looks like it's smoothing out. I'm getting more battery power now. So I'm trying to get down to the nuts and bolts of how I'm going to keep this going, and how I'm going to keep everything working, because what I really don't want to do. You did? All right, cool. So a good Christmas is always something to remember. Save all the pictures and all the memories. Yeah, I got to spend some time with my family, which was good. And everyone's healthy, but it seems like we're all caught in struggles as far as, and it's the usual stuff. And I want to work on a prosperous new year. Yeah, a lot of people, there's this weird, like, it's a, what's it called? It's like my brother got sick, and when he went to the doctor, they said he had flu B, whatever that is, and he gave him a prescription medication. My mom is sick, and tomorrow we're going to take her to urgent care and figure out why her temperature is, when she takes her temperature, it's like, it's in the 90s. I got some money, but it's a flash in the pan. I'm grateful for it because it was put in. I put it into my account, and I'm trying not to get bummed out because there's a lot of stuff I was counting on that I was planning on, but I'm not sure if it's going to come through because there's a lot of stuff going on with my donations. You know, I was counting on donations um, to keep things going, but the last person to donate, something horrible happened, and and it's like he was the last person to donate, and that was like early last year. So and also the pins, tack pins, and neck knife that I was selling. Uh, so, anyways, I'm trying to shift to where I'm not too bummed out about stuff because I do want to cheer people up and I want to stay cheerful. But it's hard when you're like I was telling somebody not knowing what to do, you know, and it's like people getting sick and people not having any money, and my I am okay. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. 'Cause what's weird is I've been gargling peroxide. Peroxide kills the flu, you know. Or for me, I'm not giving any doctor's advice, but um, I've noticed that whenever I start feeling under the weather, I it's just honey and honey and peroxide. Well, I don't mix the two. I take them, you know, at intervals. So it stops me from getting sick because my immune system seems to be pretty good. But whenever I start feeling the effects of a sickness coming on, I usually kill the sickness with peroxide. It does good for toothaches also. Whenever I start feeling a toothache come on, I I gargle and I swish the peroxide in it. It does a good job and it breaks up whatever is in your mouth. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty healthy. It's just my mental health. I need to at keeping myself. You did? Did you peek at a present? Usually people get in trouble because they peek at presents or they give away a secret. I hate it when I give away a secret. You know, people are trying to keep something hush hush. My brother and I seem to have the same problem. We're so excited about the gift or the present that we can't quite keep it a secret. So if you don't want to go into it, that's okay. Because other than that, you probably had a pretty good Christmas. Christmas Eve is always exciting. You're always listening for Santa Claus, you know, or spotting. Sometimes they used to have Santa Claus sightings. I noticed that they do that. Yeah, on the 24th, people open at least one gift. I heard in Denmark they celebrate Christmas Day on the 24th, so that's so they're ahead of us. Yeah, I've noticed that every culture celebrates in a different way, but ours it was always wait until Christmas morning. And I remember waking up at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. was Christmas morning. Technically, yes, at midnight it's the next day, but it's like we couldn't wait to start digging into those presents. And so that's what's happening lately. And also keeping in a good mood. You know, when I'm in a good mood, I can come up with jokes and I can spread some cheer. But it's like, man, adulting is ridiculous sometimes because everything's hitting like three in threes, you know, and it's always on the same damn day that you got to handle those three things. And so I guess this is our therapy, you know, checking in and talking, seeing how we're doing like a head check, as they say. Count how many people are still here. And so I'm looking forward to probably a much more prosperous new year. It's hard because you got to really be a salesperson. You got to be uh, not ashamed to promote stuff. I'm thinking about doing a show that's just for adults because I have a link to a website that sells adult material and adult products, and because I was trying to do it, but but a lot of different age groups come on when I do. Yeah, that's what's got you in trouble. Let me see if I can read all that. There was sometimes in a okay. So you bought each thing in your family members hate. So you bought. I know that's why I always say cash. You can never go wrong with cash because people always like to have cash on hand, and that's what my brother did for me. He gave me some cash and a Christmas card. I know it's like you think you know what people like, and then it's like the return. There's always a line at the customer service desk to return stuff instead of yeah. It's like, why can't people just like what you get them? But it's like, you want to make somebody smile, just put some cash in their Christmas card. That's what I always look like. It's not so much the Christmas card; it's whether there's a gift card or whether there's some cash in there. Christmas cards are always nice if it's a funny picture. A dog poop. Wow. So Merry Christmas. Here's some dog poop. Let me make sure I read that right. I keep trying to hurry up and read. So the hardest one to get along with. I know it's hard to prank people on Christmas Day. People have such high expectations on Christmas Day, and then when you prank people, they really get bummed out. I know, yeah. So you're like the. I'm kind of like that too, just being crazy and goofy, or the one that always tries to make people laugh, or to crack a joke. I seem to know right when to crack a joke or point something out. I was watching the sequel to A Christmas Story uh, on Christmas Day. I was at my brother's house and we were watching the sequel to The Christmas Story. And you'll shoot your eye out, kid. That one. It was a good one. They had all of the original cast members. They're all really on in years. It's like the show was made in the 80s or like 81 or 82. And they're all, I guess, my age now. I thought, because when I was watching it, they were all kids. And so, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that sequel. It's called A Christmas Story Christmas. And there was just one character, the girl on Airplane, the woman who played on Airplane and Airplane 2. Also, Freddie Got Fingered. I don't remember her name, but she played the mother because the mother had passed away, the one who played the mother, and also the father. I don't want to spoil it, but it was a pretty good movie. It had a lot of funny parts, funny scenes, and so that was enjoyable. And then I saw Polar Express. Polar Express has been around for a while, and I just happened to see it most of the movie. It was quite a ride. It was almost like a dream. It's like you're watching a dream happen. And it was all about a ticket. It was all about some girl lost her ticket and it blew out the window, and then they were chasing down the ticket the whole movie until the very end. I guess Tom Hanks played all the adult characters, or two of the adult characters. He does a lot of that. What's it called? Pixar. He played Woody, and he played also the conductor, I guess, not the engineer, but the conductor on Polar Express. It's kind of fun how they make the characters look like the actual actors. There was that one with what was his name? Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. So he's probably going to have a flight back. He's probably going to stay until New Year. I'm not looking forward to New Year because they always pop fire. They always set off fireworks. So they wait until midnight and then they set off fireworks to celebrate the new year. I was watching. There were some fireworks stands in front of the stores that I went to, and I go, here we go, because it's usually 4th of July and New Year's. So New Year's they set up all the fireworks stands and everybody purchases fireworks. It's raining, so maybe that'll lessen the chance of something catching fire. Because around this time of year we get some rain. So a lot of the starting of this next year seems to be having to do with waiting. I really hate waiting on answers that I really need answers to, and so hopefully this next year I'll be able to get more donations and more sales because I really something's weird about not having any sales. You open a business and then you got no sales, and you really depend on those sales. Yeah, that happened one time. It was a Fourth of July fireworks display, and they had to call the fire department because I guess a lot of them are. Yeah, there was a big explosion. That's happened a couple of times in my lifetime. I know, and you're not expecting it either, so it kind of startles you when you have that a firework go off that you weren't expecting to go off. Because I remember when I was a kid, I know you lose your hearing, especially when you're out with your firearms, when you're out at the shooting range. It's amazing. Like on TV, the guns don't sound that loud because that's why I like wearing. I have a pair of headsets that you put on to preserve your hearing, and I always like having those on or earplugs at least. But yeah, it's kind of like makes the sound distribute. You regret doing that? Yeah. That's one thing a lot of people are asked, like, what do you regret? Yeah. They're asking a lot of celebrities, during interviews, what do you regret? And then some people have no regrets. I know. They can get pricey, those fireworks. Because we have the ones they have like a cardboard barrel, and you drop the ball into the barrel, and it has a really long wick, and you light the wick, and the barrel shoots off the ball. The ball goes up in the air and explodes, and it's just like a regular firework. Those things are expensive, but you get quite a few balls in there. You get like 10 balls, and you light them, and they go up in the air and they explode. And yeah, those were the days. Yeah, those are some things that could be put in a movie scene, like especially when there's mishaps with fireworks. I had one go off next to my ear one time. Oh, during high school. So you say he had to go naked? He didn't have like a towel to wrap around him. You can't stay naked for long. People start to complain. So, anyways, I'm doing this indoors today. The sun was playing peekaboo, but it stayed cold outside and wet. I don't mind the cold, but the wet kind of makes it worse. So I just want to keep in this routine. I think it helps to stay in a routine, and I'm hoping this year that I noticed that sometimes they'll just walk, they'll just listen. Because I noticed some people. One person was cooking, another person was packing, another person was what was they doing? Yeah, one. I forget what the third person was doing, but yeah, each of them tell me they're doing something different. It's like I'm listening to you while I cook, or I'm listening to you while I drive. Yeah, you were driving. I remember that. You stopped as soon as you got to your location. Yeah. So I guess I'm a like a DJ, a radio DJ, a talk show host. People listen while they're just chilling, you know, while they're engaged in some kind of activity. I did that too. I remember when I was a maintenance guy, I would always be um, either painting um, or doing repairs while I listened to the radio show. I listened to two different radio shows. One was in the morning, and they were mostly talk shows or talk radio, and they were always something to do with comedy. I always liked that. I would listen to. I'm surprised that there's still malls. I'm always happy to see them because malls remind me of when I was a youngster or just a few years ago, like maybe 5 or 10 years ago. There was one mall I liked. It was the Sunrise Mall in Citrus Heights, California. I would always go there when I didn't have anything to do. I would go to the mall. Oh yes, I've gone to Spencer's and Hot Topic. Yeah, that's where I got a lot of my t-shirts and hats or rings in Spencer's. Also, Hot Topic. They were talking about Hot Topic in a South Park episode. Because, yeah. And also C's Candy. They'd always give me a piece of free candy when I walked in. And I always walked out with a bag of candy. And I'd walk around the mall eating the different chocolate. It's amazing how many ways they can present chocolate to you with like peanut brittles and caramels and peanut butter. And it's like, man, I walk in and they say, here's a piece of candy. And I go, thank you. And I say, I'll have that one. I'll have that one. Like the hard caramel. Yeah, you can buy mugs. You can buy, like I said, I bought rings, necklaces. It's amazing how they can get you interested in something. Sometimes they're like, I remember when Five Nights at Freddy's and also Star Wars, Harry Potter. I had a cool pocket watch that was a Harry Potter pocket watch. And you can also buy jackets and stuff like that. I remember one time I bought a jacket. I know, because it's all for, it's mostly novelties. Sometimes, yeah, you can get novelties there too. Like the pin that you pull on and it farts. It looks like it's a pin in the shape of a finger. And all those mugs that say something on the bottom. I remember a cup, it was a mug that had a glass bottom to it. It's like when you're taking a drink, you can look at the person through the bottom of the mug. Some of it is adult stuff. That's what's on my link. I'll be having a link that pretty soon, and the link sells a lot of that stuff, like gag gifts. So I just got a lot of hopes for that. You know, being able to sell some stuff. It's it's really hard because you got to get rapport first, and then you got to have products that people want to buy, and then you got to get the right age group, you know, the right demographic. Because if you get the wrong demographic, you can get in a lot of trouble. So maybe I'll I'll make this video here. I might make it for adults only, so I can display my link. And I can understand now why salespeople are pushy. You know, salespeople are all about their product and really trying to get people to buy the product, because that's how they pay their bills. You know, that's how they put food on the table. And it's like I like products that sell themselves. You know, you don't have to sell popsicles on a really hot day. No, it isn't. It's not snowing. We get mostly rain here, just cold and rain. Because I think it stays around 40 to 50 degrees. Lately, it's been like 40-degree days. For it is. I think we get snow like once every 3 to 4 years. I don't think we're due for any snow yet. It's definitely gotten cold though. I guess the beginning or like around November it got pretty cold. Oh, it's snowing there? Yeah. You're in Canada, aren't you? Canada is way because I remember living in Northern California. We got quite a bit of snow at some. Yeah, because it was in the Sierra Nevadas. I was living in the Sierra Nevadas, and it got because it was a higher altitude. Sometimes the closer you are to the North Pole, or yeah, you get snow there, and also if you're at a higher altitude. I remember watching the clouds hit the tops of the mountains. That's always cool when you're driving by a mountain and you see the clouds bumping into the mountaintops because you're that high up in the air. You got a good altitude. That's probably why airplanes fly at 35,000 feet, so they don't run into a mountain or run into treetops. Probably because the air is a lot thinner up there too. There's less wind resistance when you get to higher altitudes. Hang gliding has always been something I wanted to try. If the wind is right, there's no updrafts. Hang gliding and parachuting. Parasailing is pretty cool. There's a video of a guy who went to McDonald's and he had a kind of like it was a huge fan, and he would he would open the parachute and he'd turn on the fan, and the fan is what would propel. Let me read the rest of that. It faded away before I could finish. Okay, so you went Arthur 13 would go to abandoned. Yeah, they're called urban explorers. I see a lot of videos of urban explorers. It's pretty interesting to how the house is left when they go into a house that's been abandoned, and how many things are left behind. Or sometimes it's just buildings, abandoned buildings. People find ghosts. There's always like a ghost standing in a corner or walking towards the person and they get scared. Yeah, urban explorers. I think it's the thrill of being someplace you don't think you're supposed to be there, and then you start walking through the forest. Yeah, that's cool too. I remember there was a doll. Some guy was going urban explorer. Tree houses are pretty cool too. My brothers and I built a couple of tree houses when we were young. I think one of them is still there. A little place outside of Portola, California. We took two pine trees and made like a tree house out of it. We went kind of far up there too. It's like two by fours and some plywood, and we made a. What's weird was there's no railing, so if somebody fell off that, no railing to catch them. I think I can remember three tree houses. one in North Carolina, one in Alabama, and one in Portola. The one in North Carolina was like 3 levels high. It's like Swiss Family Robinson. Yeah. So you got caught with hanky panky. Yeah. If I read that right. I keep trying to. Let's see. Yeah. You know what I mean. Citable. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So she looked up and said, "What are you doing up there?" I think it was always the nudie magazines. Like, hello, good day. So now we got 3 people. Hello. So some people are joining us. We got 2 new joiners. Awkward. Oh, I was in Spanish class. I farted in Spanish class. The guy behind me heard it, and then he said, "Do you feel better?" That was awkward. I'm trying to think. That's the only one that really stands out. Yeah, there's 3 likes because people are like popping in. So now it looks like I'm drawing a crowd. I got some more people here. That inspires me to put more jokes up there for my shorts. Now that I found a penny earlier today. I went to the grocery store with my mother to pick up some cough medicine, and I think I still have it in my pocket. No, maybe this is. I found it. So you just popped in to say hi, all right? Let's see. So it says, "Got to get going. Haven't been there for much time, but keep. I will, as long as I can come up with more funny stuff. Like I said, I'm trying to keep my humor in spite of all the things that are going on. Because I really would hate to have to start a 9 to 5 because that's where all my time would go. I wouldn't be able to start working on content. I wouldn't be able to do streams because I'd be too tired after work. I want this to be my work. That's what I want. I want to start just getting on working on donations and just spending all my time doing content, doing live streams. That's one of my goals is to get paid to do what I like to do. And this is what I like to do. Just play my instruments and crack jokes. And because a lot of people do, that's how you know people are professional because they get paid to do what they do. I remember listening to a hypnotist, and he said that's how I knew I was professional, a professional hypnotist um, because I was getting paid to do it. And it's like that's cool. You show up to work. You show up, and it doesn't seem like you're working. Because like right now, I'm doing stuff, and people are cooking and packing and driving, and they're just listening to me babble on about stuff, and it's like that'd be an awesome job. And then later when I can get some guests, I can shoot the breeze with some guests, make it like a full-fledged podcast, have some people like fellow YouTubers and fellow YouTubers. That's what I can have. Or somebody who has a weird job. All right, have a good day. So now we're down to 2 people maybe. So we had 2 people pop in and for the time they could spend. And then you can always watch this after, you know, when it's in the archives. I've got a lot of live streams. I guess I'm getting my chops for doing successful live streams. Then people can like binge watch. And so we got 35 minutes. We'll see what we could do. 5 likes, all right. That calls for celebration. That's cause for celebration. So we had people to pop in and say hello. And I haven't had many people watching my pre-recorded live streams. I think the most I got was 107 views on one of them. I got 300 views, a little over 300 views on on another one. Usually I get like 24 views on a live stream. The ones I do really well are the shorts. The shorts seem to be the ones that are the most popular. And so I guess 36 minutes. We'll see if, yeah, I know. I always envy the ones that get like a million views, like those, I guess over time it'll start racking up after a few months or years. People will be watching those, because like this one here, I wanted to do predictions, and see how many predictions we get right. And what we could do is in the comments, leave your predictions. And then what I can do is call this up next year and see which ones are right, see which predictions came true. But that guy had a crew. I don't have a crew. It's just me doing this. So we could always go through all of the comments and say right, wrong, right, wrong. You know, see how good we are at predicting things for the next year. So Christmas is come and gone already. Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas seem to go by pretty fast. Pretty soon I'll be taking down decorations. It's not the first yet. So, again, I guess, hopefully I'll be able to get enough donations to keep this channel going. Before it's monetized, you have to get at least 1,000 subscribers. And I'm near this. That could be it too. Because yeah, music is always, they say that's a universal language. Music. Depending on, what, yeah, and music always, we're always playing songs in our heads, because I know that Feliz Navidad song was following me. My mother and I went into seems like the only restaurant that's open on Christmas Day is Takai. It's a Japanese restaurant. It's the only restaurant open on Christmas Day, or one of the only ones that we know of. And they were playing that song in the restaurant. Sometimes in the car I go, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Songs that follow you and songs that stick in your head. So that's one of your predictions, that there's going to be a lot more musical content. Because I know a lot of people are either playing piano or violin. Piano, violin, and guitar. Not always harmonica sometimes, I might make some shorts that have harmonica in them to see how well I do. Because this tripod, I can adjust it to where I can put it vertically. When you sleep, is that I hear the secrets that you keep? That's Five Nights at Freddy's. I think that's the theme song. I noticed that too. That's an 80s song. That song came out in the 1980s. I hear the secrets that you keep. That's hard to get rid of a song that's stuck in your head. You're trying to get some work done, or you're just bopping around the house doing housework, and then all of a sudden you got that song you can't get out of your head. One I like is Land Down Under. I come from a land down under. Oh, really? Bloody Valentine. I remember that song. It was about some coal miners, I think. My Bloody Valentine. They tried to make a slasher movie out of most of the holidays. I remember one was Happy Birthday to Me. Another one was like a Christmas story, some kind of slasher movie they made out of a Christmas theme. Silent Night, Deadly Night, or something like that. They have the one-hit wonders. I remember that. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. There one, Come On, Eileen. That was another one-hit wonder. There's songs that really, like Who Let the Dogs Out? That was another one-hit wonder. I should make a playlist of all the one-hit wonders. So I'm down to 0 again, but I have 6 likes. I have 1 viewer now. Hello. So we have possibly 2 people. Possibly. Because I know when it says 1, there's usually another. And if I can turn you on to the links that I have in my description, I'm selling a cool neck knife. And it's going well, all things considered. They say every day above ground is a good day. Whoever made that saying must have had pretty horrible days. Every day not working in a coal mine is a good day. Salt mines too. Salt mines are pretty harsh. They actually have to dig in the ground for salt. That's good to hear. Well, thank you. It's good to hear that you're doing well also. So we're having a post-Christmas, pre-New Year special, I guess. And we were talking about stores and malls and See's Candy. That's what I liked about the Sunrise Mall. They had a See's Candy store. When I went in there, they would always give you a free piece of chocolate to remind you how good chocolate tastes. And we were talking about one-hit wonders. Do you know any one-hit wonders? I remember Who Let the Dogs Out was a pretty popular song for a while. And then there was that Our House in the Middle of the Street, Our House. They played those back in when MTV was actually music television. I remember there was VH1 also played videos. Now if you want to see a video, you have to go on YouTube to see an official video. I like watching the Marilyn Manson videos. The Top Hat song is pretty cool. It's like it's a Willy Wonka theme. They're going through the tunnel in the boat. My big top tricks will always make you happy. But we all know the hat is wearing me. That's a cool song. I had the CD. I would play that song in my car. I'd play that CD. Fail to see the tragic, turn it into magic. That's a weird, if you watch that. Also like Beautiful People, that was another good one. And then The Craft came out. I remember that, the movie The Craft. I had the album. You shut your mouth, how can you say I go about things the wrong way? I am human and I need to be loved just like everybody else here. I like that other song, I'm a Creep. I am in Georgia, in the great state of Georgia. I moved here from California. California is a place you ought to be, but I'm here in Georgia now, closer to family. Most of my family decided to move to Georgia, even though some were born in Virginia and some were born in Georgia. But I guess they took a liking to Georgia, and then I figured I might as well, in my later years, be closer to family, so that I can get through my struggles in life and help them through their struggles in life. What I miss is the beach. I like going to the beach. That's cool. Georgia's where the Civil War was fought. There's some locations around here. They have little signs that show you where battlefields were. I know on the way to the library there's a battlefield sign. Also, there's downtown Dallas, Georgia has some historic, I guess, relevance. It's a very old state, or a very old town. I did a show from downtown Dallas. There's an old courthouse that's now a school, and you could tell the place was built in the 20s, the 30s. It's kind of like you get these visions of what it would be like, what people wore back then. Did they wear top hats and overcoats? Did they wear hippie clothes? There's a place that's a tavern that I wish they would reopen. It's called McCracken's Tavern. I think it was an Irish pub. And I always go by there and I go, man, I wish they would open it up again. It looked very historic. So they always decorate it every season, like for Halloween and for Thanksgiving. For Halloween, they had a pumpkin that you can crawl inside of. You put your head out through the top of the pumpkin. I did a short with Santa's sleigh. They have Santa's sleigh in front by the Christmas tree. They have a huge Christmas tree with a big star on top. And they have Santa's sleigh next to it. And I did one short. I did a few jokes with the Santa hat on. And then there was one of my shorts, or no, one of my streams. Oh, you saw that? Okay. Merry Christmas. There's also one of my, on my, on the community page, there's a video of me showing a Christmas angel. That was pretty cool. The guy had this huge Christmas angel on top of his house, and he kept it up there for a while. I didn't see it there this year, but I captured it. I was wearing a black beanie cap or something like that, or a stocking cap, and I went out there one night and caught it on camera. I got some EVPs too, those electronic voice phenomenon. Those are always interesting to hear, when you can hear a ghost voice. I think I'll put that on my, yeah. I think it's marked as such too. It's an EVP. I was recording in my bathroom and I was the only one in there, and I heard a voice, like a chuckle, and I like to go to some places that are haunted and see if I can get some EVPs. Electronic voice phenomenon. There was a guy who had a lot of them. He'd go on the Coast to Coast AM. It was a nighttime talk show, and he would bring all of his EVPs. He would go to like insane asylums and cemeteries and places like that, and have recordings of ghost voices. It says that you can record voices, you don't hear them until you play them back. For some reason, it catches it on the, yeah, especially those digital recorders. You can record on digital recorders the ghosts of the voices of the dead. That'd be neat if I'm doing a live stream and I catch one. I've always had that fascination. That's pretty cool. Or video cameras. It is, yeah. That's why I like to watch Slapped Ham. I keep talking about Slapped Ham. There's a lot of videos like closed caption. I think it's called CDC footage or something like that. Closed caption. Also doorbells. The doorbell cameras are pretty interesting. Weirdos come walking up to the door, and there was a guy licking a doorbell one time. And also drunk people come up to the door and they talk into the camera. Also in ETs, they talk about a lot of UFO sightings. Also cursed items. People talk about that. There's Ed and Lorraine Warren was another paranormal group, just like Zach Bagans. Ed and Lorraine has a museum of all these items that they've collected that were haunted and cursed items. I don't think I'd want to go there, but it would be fascinating if I went there on a dare. Zach Bagans has a museum also of all these like serial killer personal effects. I would like to. It would be neat to do it in a group, you know, visit a haunted locations. Yeah, Slapped Ham. I like at the end of his videos, he always goes, poo! It's yeah, Callan, I think his name is. Callan, and then there's that Navy SEAL guy. Yeah, poo! Hi, this is Callan, and welcome to Slapped Ham. Today we're going to have videos of things moving all on their own. What's really creepy is like in the hospitals, you'll see gurneys moving, or shopping carts. Sometimes in shopping, grocery stores that are closed down for the day, you'll see a grocery cart moving. Sometimes wheelchairs at hospitals. You'll see a wheelchair just scooting down the hallway. That would be interesting if you could videotape that or see it happen yourself. Just like a wheelchair scooting down, or sometimes even images. Sometimes you can see ghosts, like shadow figures. Yeah, it's like when you see it happen yourself, it kind of adds validity to it. And it's like, who's got that kind of editing equipment, you know, who can do that good of a job? And it's like, sometimes it's just regular folks catching something on their phone. What's really cool is the lightning strikes, you know. There was one story, one video I saw was some people standing around a tree, and a lightning bolt hit the tree, and everybody collapsed. Everybody collapsed who was standing around the tree. I guess the electricity went down into the roots, and then trees start burning on the inside. When lightning strikes the tree, it starts a fire inside the tree. And so it's like you don't notice it right away that the tree is on fire because it's burning from the inside out. What else? There was one story. You ever seen Morbid Facts? Every once in a while, I'll get one of those shorts. Morbid Facts, and he talks about a guy who was struck a few times by lightning, and then his tombstone was struck by lightning. So it's like, wow, this guy was really attracting lightning bolts. That's like one in a million. You know, I watched a guy on a sidewalk, a video of a guy walking on a sidewalk, and he was struck by lightning, and then he got up and walked, and then he was struck again by lightning. I think it was 3 times in a row. The guy was just walking down the sidewalk, and then a bolt of lightning hit him, and he fell down, and then he stood back up to take a to when he came to, and then the lightning struck him again. It's like, wow, that's I wonder what makes somebody so attracted to lightning. That and what other weird things have I seen? Oh, landslides. Landslides are pretty scary to watch. Or when a bridge washes out. Sometimes floods, when they happen, floods take trees. Hold on a second. I almost read all that. I noticed that. Yeah, there's kids. Kids can see ghosts. It's like um, they'll talk about somebody in the backyard. They're playing with somebody in the backyard. That could be it, because when you're young, also things that are happening paranormal. Sometimes we're just we channel stuff. I've seen that in different movies. A person will walk up and tell somebody something, and it will be the ghost talking through them. Or like they say, when you sneeze, a ghost is walking through you, or a bad spirit is leaving you. Yeah, I've seen that in some paranormal movies. Like a person will walk up and talk to somebody, and it will be the ghost talking through them, and the person talking didn't remember any of it. Because I remember one story about this old guy. The kid was playing with an old guy in his backyard, and the old guy was somebody who passed away. That's always creepy. Not creepy, but interesting. Oh, did you see the video of that security guard? There was a security guard that was talking to someone, and you can see the guy standing there, and there's no one. There's no one with the security guard while he's talking, and the security guard described the person, and they said that person was dead for a while. So it's like sometimes you can see the camera doesn't pick up. You see a person, and you're talking to them, and you don't realize it's a ghost. I've wondered that about myself. Sometimes I'll be talking to people, and like the Bible says, we entertain angels unaware. Yeah, yeah. It's like that. It was a guy in a hotel, I think. I think it was a hotel, and he was in the hotel lobby, and the guy was talking to somebody. You don't see anybody with him, and then he describes the person. And he says, "Yeah, that person's been dead for a while." So, and then he kind of freaked out after that. So, so it's been. So where are you? Where are you in the world? Are you in here in the U.S. or? Sometimes I talk to people from Canada and from Denmark. I was talking to some people from Denmark a couple of days ago. Take a guess? I don't know. Let me see. Let me see if I can get a vision. If I can get a vision of. I'm seeing some, like in the country, but not quite in the country. You ever watch like in England? There's there's a street, and then there's houses on the sides of the street. But that's kind of what I'm getting. I just see white buildings. That's what I see. Something like white buildings and like a stream. That's kind of what I don't know. Maybe you are in a in another country besides the U.S. But but that's what I get. I'm not sure. Was I close? Was I even close? Because I see you live in an urban place. There are some stores that you could probably walk to from your house. And I see an animal like a cat. I get a lot of weird vision. Scandinavia. That's where my heritage is. Scandinavia. Yeah. So I was right about the non-U.S. country. So yeah, Scandinavia. That's where I'm Scandinavian. They say I'm English and Scandinavian, and it is fun. Yeah. What, playing the guessing games or being in Scandinavia? That's where the Vikings are. Yeah, Viking Scandinavia. But which country? I don't know. Let me see. You're asking me to guess, so here we go. Let's see. Norway. I'm getting Norway. I might be just pulling it out of my hat. Norwegian. I don't know if that's Scandinavia, but that's the first word that popped. Yo. What does yo mean? Yo. So so maybe I got it right. I get these visions, you see. Are you indeed? Oh, okay, cool. So now I'm a good guesser. I guess you can. I've been wanting to do stuff like that. I did a video of guess a number between 1 and 5, no, 1 and 10. So people said I got it right. Maybe I have a talent. Who knows? There was a girl that was saying that there was a person standing behind me, and when I played the video back, there was nobody standing behind me. So maybe that girl had the ability to see ghosts because I was filming outside. I was doing a live stream outside, and and she said, "Who's that standing behind you, wearing blue jeans and a shirt?" And I said, "I don't know. I don't see anybody because I can see behind me. I can see that wall, and I can see that mirror, and and I didn't see anybody." And then I played the video back, and I didn't see anybody. So maybe that person has a gift from having being able to see. It kind of creeped me out too because it's like, who was that? Who was she seeing? Was it a relative? Was it just a curious ghost? So now it looks like somebody else has joined us. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that you're joining. There was somebody from the Netherlands, somebody from Denmark. Denmark is near Sweden. What's up? So that's who joined. It's a friend from Nevada. So so we're getting some. Well, that's cool. I'm glad I started a live stream today. We have somebody from Norway. Isn't that cool? We've been chatting about supernatural stuff. From I'm gonna have to look up Norway now to say how you doing. I'm doing okay. Did you have a holly jolly Christmas? It's the best time of the year. Unless you think about Halloween. Halloween is pretty fun for me. I got a lot of trick-or-treaters. There was a shorts that I made, a lot of trick-or-treaters. There was one girl had she was dressed as Wednesday and she had thing on her shoulder. You probably get that one. And some cheerleaders. It's pretty cool. These kids are pretty creative. One person was Lieutenant Dan. Remember Forrest Gump? When he lost his legs and he was in a wheelchair? There was a kid with his legs bent and it looked like he had no legs from the knees down. That was Lieutenant Dan. One guy was Joe Dirt. Remember Joe Dirt? And a lot of dinosaurs. One guy was Ronald McDonald. It was really trippy to watch. He looked like he was like 12 or 13 years old and he was dressed as Ronald McDonald for Halloween. I was dressed as a magician. My mom was the rabbit. She dressed up like a rabbit. So we were kind of a team. with our Halloween costumes. So is it snowing in Norway? The last person in Canada, it's snowing around this time of year because that's where the Nordsmen came from, the Nordic. Conan the Barbarian. Have you ever seen the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger? I always like watching that one. It talks a lot about the Nordsmen, the northern people, and how they forged their steel. They talk about Valhalla. The rainbow is pretty cool. The Rainbow Bridge. They talk about that. That's what leads to Valhalla. Their ships were pretty sturdy too. They would use their ships to ram other ships. Ah, my dog is whimpering. I'm gonna have to let my mother know. She's... Mom, are you okay to let Shaggy out?
Yeah, I'll get him.
Because I'm that poor girl. She's trying to rest. We kind of look out for each other. It's like I'm in the middle of a stream. So we got two people today. I guess what I'll have to do is go out there and make sure my mom's all right. And she's got some kind of a flu. She caught a flu because she went for a Christmas gathering at my brother's house, and there were kids there, and one of the kids were sick, so she caught what one of the kids had. So that was...
Sun time.
Oh wow, 20. I remember snow used to at least come to my knees when I was in Portola. Portola is a place that's over in the Sierra Nevadas. I was talking about that earlier. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. So cool, that's what I could do around this time is do more live streams. See if I can, we can pass the time. Talking about what interests us. So you're really into the paranormal? You like, there was Paranormal Captivity is a girl who talks about ghosts and certain... You won't even be able to say ass. You can say ass. This is a family show. You can say, yeah. I don't think there are any kids present. I think that's what we'll have to do is ask people, are you a kid watching? Does your mommy let you say ass? You know, we say all kinds of things here, as long as it's justified. You know, some bad words are justified if you're describing things, describing what kind of day you had, and put on your clown nose. Every once in a while, they sell these. The red nose, I guess. So I bought me one. I'm gonna get a real clown nose. I have a clown nose that I'll have to dig up. I really hope it gets better. I hope they put a stop to inflation. It is the unknown, and it's like when you go to locations and you can feel presences and you can feel emotions. That's what a lot of these people do when they go do paranormal investigations. They'll say, you know, oh, the real creepy ones is when they feel someone touch them. They'll say, oh, somebody touched me, or somebody brushed my hair, or somebody knocked me over. I've seen those where people get knocked over. I just don't want it to happen to me. That would really creep me out. Unless it's a friendly, you know, I've heard ghosts help people. Kim Russo is, she's a psychic. Oh, the jinns. I've heard about that. That's what, they're made of smokeless fire. I've heard Bismillah. That's if you say Bismillah, that that makes the jinn leave you alone. I've heard about people trapping spirits before. Supernatural was another movie or another. It was a series. They don't. So are you one of those that can see ghosts? This would be interesting content. I'll be, we'll have to do this on our live streams. We'll talk about our experience with the supernatural. I noticed one thing: don't make deals with ghosts unless you can follow up on them. They say offerings are always good. Sometimes like some ghosts like just smells. Oh, I can sometimes I sometimes can they can see you. I noticed that. They definitely know you're there. They say when ghosts sometimes give you signs that they're around. If they're thinking of you, chances are that if you're thinking of them, they're thinking of you. That's what I keep hearing. And also, be respectful. I'm going to try to find that one. There's one woman that goes into great detail how to deal with spirits, how to deal with and offerings. Sometimes all they want is an incense, like sandalwood or cinnamon or chocolate. Some of them I know like chocolate or wine. Sometimes bourbon. I notice like whiskey. They like whiskey. In voodoo, they use whiskey a lot. I've used. Yes, I do too. There's some that I've talked to, like Raphael. Raphael is one that for healing. It's basically the healer. And Gabriel. Gabriel is like it means strength of God or um, Gabriel or yeah. Sometimes I can feel when they're around. It's weird, because whenever you're thinking of them, they're usually thinking of you. So if ever you start to get interested, hold on. I was just almost. I was reading that. Okay, so a 200-year-old school in Norway, free entities. Oh, because they were lot activity. Yeah, entities are always interesting because I remember like certain gods. You know, um, people are talking a lot lately about ancient gods, and some of them you shouldn't even say their names. They say don't even say their names unless you're having a ritual. Like angels are always cool because I feel a lot safer when an angel is around. Sometimes I have to be true that because yeah, Raphael is really good at healing. I remember one time I had sciatica really bad, and I was talking to Raphael, and he took away my sciatica. What's cool is it's a oh yeah. I've heard about showers. When people want to shift realities, they say the best time to shift a reality is when you're taking a shower. I like to do a ritual shower at the end of every year to wash off the previous year because it's like a cleansing. Yeah, they can be very good protectors. Have you heard of the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram? It's when you evoke all four of the angels: Raphael, Gabriel, Michael, and Oriel. I think because they each are the elemental angels, and I've done that. I need to do that more lately because sometimes there's lots of bad energy that's hanging around. And iron, yeah. Have you ever used iron water? Iron water. You take like nine, I think it's nine nails, nine iron nails, and then you let them soak for a while. And yeah, what's fairies don't like iron. That's why I like to not wear iron. Because I heard uh, iron is supposed to neutralize magic or something like that. That's why I like honey. Honey's pretty cool to keep around. Sometimes I'll open up my front door and just pour honey outside. Fairies are part of the supernatural. There's a lot of cool stories about fairies. The Seelie fairies, not the there's bad fairies and good fairies. Angels, I think I'll need to talk maybe more about angels this year because some of them, like King Solomon, there was a ring that, yeah, yeah, because cast iron, because water absorbs a lot of minerals. So yeah, I can sometimes taste the pipes. You know what if the tap water goes through the pipes, and what else was there? Like fairies have always fascinated me. Sometimes I'll find mushrooms in the yard. One time I saw a fairy ring. There was a ring of marsh. They say don't go near a fairy ring. It's weird how I've seen a couple of them around here. Usually, sometimes in the summer or springtime, I'll see a ring of mushrooms. Have you heard about the fairy flag? There was a flag that I guess a king had. I have. I'm gonna have to take. I don't know if it's okay to take a picture of one. I saw a fairy home one time. It was really interesting because it was just there. I don't know who put it there, but it was a fairy home. And sometimes I'll see some in the lawn. You know, if not a ring, I'll see at least see a few mushrooms. And it's almost like they're telling me that they're around. And there's like a barrier I've noticed in my backyard. I think so. I've heard about that too. I've heard of changelings. I guess fairies will take a kid and replace it with a changeling. And then there's like another, yeah, teleportation in a fairy ring. They say don't go in because you go into a fairy realm maybe. And hold on, keep getting. There we go. Now it's over. It's over. And because I think, and also like biscuits, they say you have to make the biscuits very. They're very picky about what they what they're presented. That's why they like honey, so I just give them honey. So I'll have to ask if they can reveal themselves. It's like, show me what you look like. Because I've seen some videos of fairies, but it'd be interesting to have a. I've seen Avatar, yeah. I remember seeing the very first one. So who's with me today? Is X Trigger here, or is our friend from Norway here? I can only see numbers. I can't see who I'm talking to. So I'll have to say, here I am, or we'll have to talk more about stuff like this. It's always been a fascination with me. I haven't seen Avatar 2. I've seen the first one where they were fighting robots, I think towards the end or at the end. I'll have to do more research about stuff like that, or maybe watch. That way, we'll have something to talk about. Or if I find a video, I can put it on my community page. Yeah, on the community page, I can get like, oh, I can get some links for you. Hello. Oh, I remember you. You've been caught. Yeah, so we got 3 people, I guess. I think it's getting to be supper time. I'm gonna have to put the pizza in the oven. I'm getting lightheaded. I need to eat something. It was good talking to all of you. I'll have to give a shout or a signal whenever I'm going to start a new live stream. Then we'll start talking about some books that we've read, like the Necronomicon or the Kings of the what is it? The Keys of Solomon the King. Those are always good, fascinating books to read because it talks about how each day there are certain angels for each day. So I'll be thinking about you guys, you all. My friend from so there was one. Who is that guy that was just talking about fairies? Where are you from? Pizza sounds good. Pizza, okay. I'm going to eat pizza. I got a pepperoni pizza, a DiGiorno. It's one of those pre-made pizzas that you take out of the freezer. Oh yeah, of course. You're a saint or ST. I think that saint is short for saint. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I'm going to have to. I got to take my nighttime pills, I guess, so that I can get through the night. And it was great. We'll talk more, and I'll have to make a, especially around this time. I'll have to see what time this is. It's right now it's almost 6 o'clock, so maybe 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. We can talk some more. So I guess this is a good time for us to have a chat, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow if all goes well. And thank you for the likes, and I'll give you all a chance to say goodbye if you'd like to say goodbye. Happy New Year. We'll make our New Year predictions. It was great talking to you. Thank you. I really cherish the people who joined me, because sometimes it gets lonely. See ya. Have a great day. 5, 4, and cut.